I'll just make my screen bigger here, right? I can do that. Okay. So this is from One World Corporation. You might have remembered us talking about them when we were discussing Nick the Hat a few live streams back. This is kind of a PR group that's working it appears in tandem with At Night. They might be under the same corporation. I'm really not exactly sure the structure, but they are kind of a PR centered group. So for immediate release in regards to Operation Sebastian Stormfront, October 18th, 2024, news conference announcing legal action related to the disappearance of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And in quotes, "This should be a united effort to bring a missing child home," said Joseph Lesniak, Esquire. This is the attorney we had on our show a few months ago, or a month or so ago, who is representing At Night, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and everyone. The quote continues, "We must fiercely protect the integrity of this search, not just for Sebastian's sake, but for every family who believes in the promise of truth, justice, and a country that stands together in times of crisis." And then Media, Pennsylvania, October 18th, 2024. So that is today. A news conference will be held on Tuesday, October 22nd. So this is next week at 10 a.m. on the steps of the Delaware County Court of Common Pleas, located at 201 West Front Street, Media, Pennsylvania, 19063. The legal team will discuss the latest legal actions concerning the ongoing search for Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old who went missing on February 25th, 2024, and was reported missing the following day. Legal counsel for the plaintiffs includes attorney Joseph P. Lesniak, Esquire, and Bruce L. Castor, Jr. You might have seen Castor when he appeared with Dog the Bounty Hunter in a news segment about a month ago as well. Castor's also a very well-respected attorney. He most famously represented Donald Trump in one of the impeachment hearings. So when this occurs is Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024 at 10 a.m., where steps of the Delaware County Court of Common Pleas, 201 West Front Street, Media, Pennsylvania, 19063, and the what? So this is the meat of it right here, I think. The legal action involves a RICO and organized crime civil case filed in Delaware County aimed at addressing the harmful spread of misinformation and exploitation that has obstructed the investigation. This case, the case, targets individuals and groups who have propagated false narratives, undermining the search for Rogers and delaying justice for his family. Let's continue, and then we'll come back to this paragraph, I think. Is that okay?
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Let's just go ahead and talk about it now.
Okay.
So, and of course, Auntie, Mrs. E, if you all have any thoughts on any of this part of it, that, feel free to jump in there too. These two, the RICO and organized crime, you're going to hear referenced over and over again when we go through these documents. If you're not familiar with RICO, I've been kind of scrambling together research on it. I've kind of had it in the back of my mind anyway, because I thought that might be what was going to end up happening at some point. At least I was actually kind of hopeful that this is where things were going, because RICO, you ever find yourself attached to a RICO investigation, it's not a good thing for you. If any of these people that get named in this hear their name attached to this, it is a gut punch to see RICO. But it stands for Racketeer Influence Corrupt Organization Act, and this was passed in 1970. It targets specifically organized criminal activity and racketeering. So this can be anything from a ring of burglaries, assassins for hire, or something like that. And really any type of organized crime, gambling rings, trafficking, any group that is organized in concerted effort to commit crime can be prosecuted with these under RICO. And so it looks like that's what they're going to try to allege throughout, is that this is a criminal RICO violation. If you are involved in this organization and say you get prosecuted, it is up to 20 years sentence. So this is not something to take lightly at all. There's also fines that go along with RICO. It can be double your earnings as a criminal. So let's say you had a gambling den and you had earned $50,000 at that gambling den in a year. They could fine you $100,000 for whatever you took in as that organization, or they have the option to fine you $250,000 instead. That's at the discretion of the courts. You have to forfeit all proceeds that you earned as a criminal organization. And the big key to prosecuting these is that you have to establish a pattern of a pattern of crime within an organization. So say like 3 robberies occurred within a group with knowledge within the group to conspire, that could fit that type of definition. If you find yourself you're going to hear a lot of victims listed in this. If you find yourself to be one of the victims here, one of the things that's great about RICO, if you're the victim, is that the person that's prosecuted can't defend against you. So let's say you felt damages by this criminal organization, and they're all prosecuted and the prosecution wins. If you're one of the victims and you come back seeking damages, let's say you think there's $10,000 worth of damages, you are awarded triple those damages by the courts. And the person that lost the RICO suit, the person that's guilty of those RICO violations, they can't defend it. It is between the victim and the judge at that point, or the courts. I'm not sure if, I don't guess that would be a jury. I assume that would be a judge. That's my, again, we are not lawyers. This is just my, this is basically my interpretation of Cornell Law School today.
Exactly what I was going to say too.
And I watched a few videos just kind of about RICO and how it operates and how it's prosecuted as well. But most of what I'm sharing with you today is from Cornell Law.
That's right.
Here was a, let's see here. Does that all make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Does the chat have any questions about anything about that so far?
Let's see.
I thought it was really interesting.
We can't hear you.
Here was a.
Well, I'm not sure why.
Yeah, we still can't hear you, Auntie. I'm sorry.
Hang on.
She might just try to re-enter here. I'm going to read this quote about RICO that I found on one of these websites. The power of RICO lies in its conspiracy provision.
I know what it is. Let's try it now.
Okay.
Talk, Auntie.
Hang on, I got to add me to stage. I'm not
there.
You're
there.
Here.
You're on stage. Yeah.
I was just saying that where I had looked at everything was from Cornell Law, and I was really surprised at how many different types of crimes fall under the RICO law.
Yes, yeah.
Excuse me.
It's like a long laundry list of crimes that can fall under the RICO.
Yeah, almost anything actually. You know, if they're organized enough, or if they're, if the pattern's there. So, we always think of it as mob bosses and street gangs and things like that, but that's really not the case. And there's been some precedent with other organizations.
Oh. Okay, people want you to get on with it. They want to know who's been charged or who's been who the complaint is against.
Okay. Well, then I'll just finish with this part because I think we do have to kind of understand this before we hop in. The power of RICO lies in its conspiracy provision based on an enterprise rationale that allows trying together apparently unrelated crimes with a common objective into a prosecutable pattern of racketeering. Successful defenses are rare, and that is true too. So yeah, we'll skip through any more of that part of it and just get right into the suit then. So this was all filed today in Delaware County in Pennsylvania. So it's a pretty thick stack of papers. This is double-sided even.
I believe if you want, I can I was able to download it from their website. So if you want me to
kind of do that as we go along?
I can, but you'll have to alert me, so I don't dox anybody.
Ooh. Oh yeah. So let's talk about this too. Before we get into this, as far as doxing goes, I'm not going to read addresses, like street addresses of the homes of people. I know it's all out there. If people really want to find it, I guess they can, but just out of caution and just trying to do my best to keep people from getting targeted in their homes. Anyone that's named in here, I'm going to try to avoid reading their street names. There's also, of course, there are people that are YouTubers and creators and they have handles and things of that nature. I'm going to do my best also to just go by their name that they use on YouTube, just like we did with the Bullhorn Betty case. I didn't refer to her by her real name. I think I did once, but I didn't mean to. I'm going to do my best with that, not to state their real names. It's going to be difficult because it's just all throughout these documents. But when I can, I'll say Barbecue Lady or Granny's Watching. And as you all know, I said this before with the Bullhorn Betty situation with the Proudfoots. I really don't like covering other YouTubers at all. But we had to with Betty because it was it was the Proudfoots taking her to court. And so the Proudfoots are part of the story. It's related to Sebastian and our ability to find the truth. And that's really the same situation here. This is essentially people that are defending Seth and investigating on Seth's behalf. And they are involving all three parents at different times are named throughout these documents for various reasons, as you're going to all see. So it is absolutely connected to the story. This is not just for, to try to attack any YouTubers or anything like that. It's nothing personal that way. There's a lot of different creators involved here. You have something to say, Mrs. E?
Before you get started into the documents, we've had some membership gifting, and I just wanted to tell everybody basically that we really appreciate it. I believe it was Ginger Girl gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Ginger Girl. If you got a membership from Ginger Girl, please, tell her thank you. And thank you so much, Ginger Girl. We appreciate your support. And also Lady Tit for Tat, our amazing mod who does everything in the world, also gifted 5 memberships. So if you received a membership from her, please tell her thank you. And thank you, Lady Tit for Tat and Ginger Girl. That's really sweet for you guys. We are going to do our best. Hello, Tony Mathis.
Hi, Tony.
We are going to do our best to stay on top of that. I don't want to interrupt him. So we'll probably take breaks periodically and acknowledge super chats and memberships all at once. Right?
Yeah, what I think I'll try to do is I'll try to take breaks because it's divided into sections, everything here.
Yes.
So I'll try to take breaks in between all of it. And where I can, if I can offer any insider things I didn't understand, I will try to, the things I was able to research prior, I will try to explain those to you as best I understand them. And of course, if we have questions, I think what we'd like to do Auntie and Mrs. E and Armand, if there's anything we want to highlight, that's a great question about the section we're in at the time. Kind of give me a little tap on the arm. Let me know, and I'll try to stop, and we'll go into it.
And the first few pages, I was going to say, the first few pages has private information. So I'm not going to show those on the screen, but once we get past those, I will start putting that stuff up.
Right. So the first page I have here is basically the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania Court of Common Pleas civil cover sheet. So this is in Delaware County, which is just outside of Philadelphia.
I can probably show this one.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll wait.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so and I'm going to go through this very quickly anyway, this part. So the commencement of action is that it's a complaint and a petition, and the lead plaintiff's name is At Night Media, LLC. The lead defendant's name is Barbecue Lady, and that's how I'll try to refer to her throughout. The biggest thing on this page in my mind is this question: are money damages requested? And they check the box no. So this lawsuit is apparently not seeking financial damages. Is this a class action lawsuit? It says no. And then they have to, at the very bottom, the bottom half of the page is what type of, place an X beside the category that most accurately describes your primary case. And at the very bottom right, they cite other, and they say this is a complaint in equity. I did not know what that meant, so I went and looked that up today. And a complaint in equity, there's basically, when you bring a lawsuit to someone, you are either doing a legal complaint, or you're seeking an equitable solution. Here they are seeking equity. So what that means is they are not looking for not money. They're not looking for a price tag, $50,000, $100,000 in damages, anything like that. They are seeking a solution. So they are asking for actions of some kind. It could be a variety of things. I think that's in these papers towards the end. Yes.
I just wanted to remind everybody in chat to be kind to one another and not say hateful things about us. We're family, so we do tend to interrupt each other. And there are lots of people covering this right now. So if you're unhappy, I'm sure head over there.
Sure.
Sorry.
And
somebody did ask, sorry about that, but they wanted to know how we have copies ahead of time before the other people were served.
It's on their website.
It's online.
It's online
on the courthouse website.
Yes.
So we have,
and yeah.
Okay. So then the first page. Let me see if there's any. I think you could show the first page that says in the Court of Common Pleas of Delaware County, where it says who the plaintiffs and defendants are.
It has their real names.
Oh, it is. Well, yeah. That's all throughout.
Maybe we should just talk about it and not show it. I don't know.
I don't. If it's public record, I don't know why.
I mean,
I know a lot of things are public record though, and
I think you can increase the size to where it cuts off that top part.
I mean,
we literally just got these, so
yeah.
I can't go and redact all this stuff right now.
I mean, at this point, all of these people are in court. They're going to all be testifying, I suppose, of some form, or likely will. And we're going to hear these names. You're going to hear these names everywhere. This is going to be a massive story. You're going to hear a lot about this.
Well, I will say that one of the plaintiffs in the case has texted me. I guess they're watching, and they said that it's public record, so not to worry about it.
Okay, we'll pull it up. I'm still going to just out of also confusion. A lot of you don't know the real names of these people. They're known as Granny's Watching and Barbecue Lady and stuff like that. So it also will help with confusion, I think. But I don't know. I'm just trying to be as respectful as I can to people that are in a tough situation on both sides of this. But so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read the top page. If you want to pull it up, that's okay. If you don't, that's fine. But this gives us the plaintiffs. So here's your list of plaintiffs involved on the first sheet.
We're 100% sure?
I mean,
you on board with this?
It is public.
Well, other people have already shown it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere.
And it's public record. I mean, anybody can click on it and look at it.
Okay, yeah, give me 1 second to pull it up.
It's like Bullhorn Betty stuff was out there too. We just tried not to say her.
Right here? Right here? Because I've got the case number and everything.
Yeah.
That's fine. Or whatever. I don't know.
Josh has already shown it.
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Anybody can go to the website and pull this up if they really want to get this stuff.
Okay, I'm just trying to be.
But you feel free to not do it. I don't think our audience actually cares either way. So if you want to put it up there, that's fine. I doubt it will matter.
I'm just, I'm not sure.
I think the reason people come here is for the discussion of it, and we all try to get to an understanding of what this all implies, because there's a lot to this. So I'm gonna do so you can decide and do it later. You can think about it if you like. It doesn't matter to me at all.
Can I mute for just a second?
Sure.
Say something to you privately? Okay, hold on 1 second, guys.
Can't hear you.
I know I muted us because I wanted to tell him something privately.
I know, but then it looked like you started talking.
Oh, I would just read this page here with all of the people and use their names.
I think what
one
Mrs.
of them
is
I'm
saying,
not sure.
Just on the air on the side of caution, we'll just avoid any documents that have any private information, even if it's the names and that kind of thing. And just err on the side of caution for now, I think.
I think once we get into it, we're fine a little bit. It's we've got pages with addresses and things. And if people want to go seek that out, that's fine, but I don't feel comfortable.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the plaintiffs. At Night Media LLC, Dwayne the Dog Chapman, or Dwayne Dog Chapman, Seth Rogers, Tony L. Mathis, Bullhorn Betty, Brittany J., who's a YouTuber also. This person is.
Let me find out who that is.
I don't know who that is. So
which one?
Jules the dog handler's on here. Hong Ji, so you might remember Hong from Nick the Hat's YouTube channel, and then of course Nick the Hat as well. This other name, I don't know who that is.
Okay, I think I know, but I want to double check.
And then the defendants are Granny's Watching and the Barbecue Lady.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the only two defendants listed. So here's a notice, and this is from the lawyer's referral
Chasing
service.
Crime.
Oh, it's Chasing Crime.
Chasing Crime.
You have been sued. This is the notice that they have. You have been sued in court. If you wish to defend against the claims set forth in the following pages, you must take action within 20 days after this complaint and notice are served. By entering a written appearance personally or by attorney and filing in writing with the court your defenses or objections to the claims set forth against you, you are warned that if you fail to do so, the case may be processed without you and a judgment may be entered against you by the court without further notice for any money claimed in the complaint or for any other claim or relief requested by the plaintiff. You may lose money or property or other rights important to you. So essentially they will have 20 days to get it together, respond, and all of that, or they basically will forfeit their whatever decision to the court. And then they have a lawyer referral service. I don't think that's really critical to this. We have a page in Spanish, which I don't think is important to this. Then we get into the attorneys that are representing all of these plaintiffs. It is the law offices of Joseph Lesniak, who I'm sure you all remember from our live stream a month or so ago. He is the lead attorney, it appears. And then he is also joined by the law firm of Vander Veen, Hartshorn, Levin, and Lindheim. And that is Bruce Castor, who was the attorney we mentioned earlier that had represented Donald Trump in the past. Then it again lists all the plaintiffs, that this is occurring in the Court of Common Pleas of Delaware County, Pennsylvania. And it again lists the defendants. Except this time it says Barbecue Lady as a defendant. It says Granny's Watching as a defendant, and then Does 1 through 50, inclusive defendants. So that is, I suppose, 52 people, although the 50 does at this point are not explicitly named. I don't know exactly what that means. I've heard some questions about this. These does are referenced throughout the documents. You're going to hear me say like does 1 through 5 and stuff like that when it gets into the allegations here. We just don't know who they are. So if I had to guess, and maybe I know some of our folks out there are attorneys and paralegals and that sort of thing. I just didn't have time to look into this one. We were kind of busting our tails to try to get prepared. But what I'm guessing is that if there's 52 people involved, Granny's Watching and Barbecue Lady happen to live in Pennsylvania, which is where Joseph Lesniak is licensed to practice law. Maybe these other 50 people are in different states, and there's going to be other types of, I don't know, ways of dealing with the 50 other people, if that's what this means. If I'm understanding that correctly, is that what your guess? What that would mean too? What do you think, Auntie? Is that what you would get?
Yes, that's exactly what I think.
About the
does are just 50 other people that
50 other people. Yeah. Well, and that makes sense with the Rico case. If you've got co-conspirators or people that are part of this syndicate that they're developing or accusing them of having, there's going to be more than just 2 people. So I think that's what it means, that there's 50 others that may be minor players that they are also involved.
Yeah, and Graham says I think the does are the commentators on their channel or in chat. I mean, I think it's possible. I think only time will tell on that.
I didn't have time to read all of this. I've read maybe a quarter of it so far, and I had to skip around. It's a lot, and there's a lot of allegations, and there's a lot of potential crimes in here. We're going to try to get to all of them.
Just bear with us.
But we get there. What they do. So what this section is called is complaint for injunctive and other equitable relief. Okay, so what this is, if you're not familiar, and I was not because I've never taken anybody to court or been sued. So I had to look at what an injunction does exactly and what the purpose is. And what it is you file an injunction because you have an upcoming lawsuit, but you think that whatever's happening now is so bad that the courts need to step in and put a pause on it. So they are laying out the allegations so that any further damage will not continue over the following weeks or months as this lawsuit's going on. So if, for example, if one of the allegations is harassment, then what they are asking for is no more harassment potentially, but they're going to lay out where the harassment has the evidence of it and what they plan to bring to court. So then the judge will ultimately decide how much or all of this injunction to grant. So that's my understanding of it. It's kind of like a temporary relief.
And Mr. E, did you talk about the percentage success rate of RICO filed cases?
No.
I didn't see percentage. I just saw that it was rare.
I think it's a 98% success rate on the filing of RICO cases and being proven.
Well,
if this goes criminal.
Yes.
Okay, so
that is a possibility. We don't know.
And so this is we'll just take that part two. So with this RICO, and Lesniak actually kind of talked about this in a roundabout way last time, and I went back and listened today just to be sure I understood. Because we had asked, so these death threats that you guys have gotten, how does that work? Do you file? How do you press charges on this? He said, well, we can't press charges. All we can do is report it to the authorities. He said we can bring civil action and prove that the death threats have occurred, and then the DA can take that and press charges. So potentially that's what could happen here. You could have them pursue a RICO civil case, lay out all the evidence in trial, let everybody, get all this evidence and testimony, whatever you need to prove it. You win in court, then the local DA can go, we've got these people that have, this lawyer has successfully proven that these people have an ongoing conspiracy to commit these various crimes or whatever. I'm pressing charges. It's almost like you're gift wrapping the case for the DA and handing it to them.
Oh, wow.
Does that make sense?
I guess Nick's watching.
Oh, snap. Nick is already showing a panel of people talking on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
This is just crazy.
There's a part of me that does feel bad for people. We've really tried to warn people about how careful you got to be about these things. And they're not, some people have to learn the hard way. But I feel some sympathy for people that, in a sense. I don't want anyone, getting in this kind of trouble, but you can't mess around with this. This is RICO.
But ultimately, don't you think it's because it has impeded with the actual investigation is the whole reason behind these charges, not just to go after these people, but to go after the enterprise that's causing the hang up in the investigation? That's my interpretation. Is that what you see as the reasons behind it?
Yes. It's not like they're coming for money. They're not looking for financial gain or damages that way. They're asking for equitable relief, which means they're doing this more on principle than a payday, if that makes sense.
Oh, and I guess this answers everybody's question too. Nick is not in jail. So
that was one of the many rumors that goes around out there. But yes, these guys have been laying pretty low.
This is Nick's post from
just now. Well, we should read this. So Nick the Hat, who's one of the plaintiffs here, said, just like that, we're back in action today. We filed a complaint against several online creators, in quotes, who have capitalized on the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers and orchestrated fraudulent GoFundMe campaigns to fund their own lifestyles fueled by hate. Yeah, the GoFundMe fraud. That's going to be one of the allegations we're going to get to.
So as a recap, we have the plaintiffs. Will you just say the plaintiff's name or the screen names again?
Actually, we're about to get into this part.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So with this next, the first section here, section 1 is called the parties.
That's a great point, Deanna. I'm sorry. It's a great point.
Hosts need to be more heedful on who they allow on their panels, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
It is one of the reasons I don't know if we're ever going to do panels, actually, because there's.
Well, I think people consider this a panel, but we're all family.
Yeah. So. We trust each other implicitly. We know what we're all going to be about. But it's we've had people in our chat before asked to come up and stuff like that. We just ignored it. It's not out of rudeness. It's just out of it's just caution, really.
And Samantha said, so what does an accident outside Brittany's home have to do with this? That just shows precedence for the behaviors. It just shows a pattern of behaviors. I believe that's what they're saying.
Well, we haven't gotten to that part. I think you're watching somebody else's show. We haven't gotten to that yet. So we're going to go through it and give our take on what we're reading.
Yeah, it didn't have to do with the accident exactly. It was the framing of the accident to their audience.
But
we'll go through all this and show their arguments. Some of you may think some of these arguments are stronger and weaker than others, but it's a lot of arguments. It's I don't know how. It's hundreds maybe of allegations. So anyway, the parties here. The plaintiff is At Night Media. Is a Pennsylvania limited liability company with its principal place of business in New York City and is in the process of relocating. Number two party is plaintiff Dwayne Dog Chapman. He is an individual in professional capacity as a bounty hunter and public figure in Florida. So I'm skipping all addresses and things of that nature. Seth Rogers, an individual in Tennessee. Mr. Rogers is the father of Sebastian Rogers. Plaintiff Tony Mathis is an individual in the official capacity as national spokesperson for Mr. Rogers in Oklahoma. Plaintiff Hong Ji is an individual in his capacity as an officer at Night Media in Pennsylvania. If you hear Pennsylvania as someone's location, that could be important later because there are different laws. Pennsylvania is much more they have stronger laws against defamation and things of that nature than many other states. They also have very strong RICO laws in 7 states, and one of them is Pennsylvania. So any action that happened in that state is a little different than maybe us in Tennessee. So plaintiff Bullhorn Betty is an individual living in Florida. Brittany J is an individual living in North Carolina. What was the name of this person?
Chasing Crime.
Chasing Crime. I cannot get that right in my head. I
think you've even met her.
I know. It's just
in person.
The name of the channel. I keep wanting to put crime.
I know.
I know. I have that. In Pennsylvania. I didn't know they were in Pennsylvania. Jules the dog handler is also in Pennsylvania. Nick the Hat is also in Pennsylvania. And then let's see here. Barbecue Lady are the defendants. 2 defendants listed here, and also Granny's watching, and both of them are in Pennsylvania. So, do we have any super chats? Anything we want to read?
T and Nurse had something cute.
T and Nurse, Lot, I'm late and just catching on. Let me get me a glass of wine for this one. Good evening, everyone.
I'm not sure we all shouldn't have a glass of wine.
I know this is going to be a rough night for some people, and I am serious that I do feel some sympathy for people that got caught up in this, but it is the situation, and I don't think people, it's going to be. For some folks, this is not good news. This is some serious business, and I've been trying to warn folks, and I hope you start using more caution and that. But this is happening now, and but if you are someone that has been, like most of us, like 99% of us, have been hoping for some justice for Sebastian, this is a very good day. As far as that goes.
It's a start.
It is.